Alrighty, welcome to Texas Truck Channel. I'm Craig, and we're here for another hill test. Got another new vehicle on the scene. This is not necessarily the off-road version per se, but it's a truck, a bona fide truck with real four-wheel drive. And Brian, what is that?
It is a 2023 GMC Canyon DENALI. I know, DENALI does not mean hill test, but it does mean the wilderness, so we're gonna find out what it does. I wanna bust out some of the stats real quick because even though it's not the AT4X trim, you do get some special stuff here. And mainly I'm gonna start with the track width. Look how much wider this is than the standard Canyon. This thing has a track width of 65.9 inches on track width, which means it's 3 inches wider in footprint, which we love. It gives you a bunch of stability and it's not too wide. It still fits like everywhere you wanna go with a vehicle. That's a good deal. Ground clearance, 10.7 inches. And let's talk about approach angle right now. This is pretty good. 33.3 or 1/3 of 100 inches or degrees. That's pretty good. I'm really impressed. This does not have a good skid plate package like the AT4X has or the Trail Boss package that the Colorado has or the ZR2, but the angle is really great.
It doesn't have a stupid thing hanging down for fuel economy that doesn't matter in this.
There's not some goofy air dam. It's actually ready to roll and you're not gonna hit a curb. Toyota Sequoias can't go over curbs, this can. And then the departure angle is 22 degrees flat. But my main concern, Craig, is not departure angle because that's not what this hill really tests. We don't go down it, we go up it. We test approach and what else?
Breakover.
Breakover. And look at these guys right here. These are steel. They have a plastic cover, but there's a steel bracket behind them, but look how low they are from the body. Now, the good news is this will protect the body from anything. The bad news is they will probably get ripped off in most off-road scenarios. So my concern is that as we go up this hill, man, we may not make the breakover. I bet we make the approach, but the breakover's gonna be a problem. Craig's gonna have to watch for me, and we may have to back down and try a hybrid line or the bypass line, fingers crossed. One more thing I'm about to check out. We do have tow hooks out front. They are hidden, but they're down below. Right here, we do not have an electronic locker. What we have is a Eaton auto locker. What that means is as it detects 100 RPM variance between left and right, it will throw a pin in that diff on it. It's not electronic, it just mechanically does it, and it locks it 1-to-1. It's effective. Now, you can't set yourself up very well for an obstacle unless you do a trick, which we've discovered over driving a lot of these, a real mild power brake. Get the wheels to spin just enough that it goes click, and then it'll stay locked for the obstacle. We'll probably do that if we need to here shortly.
What about the tires?
Oh, the tires, thank you very much. Now, the problem, Craig, is that these tires are way better than they look. Not really a problem, but people want to change these out for off-road stuff. For this type of terrain, this silty kind of loose stuff, a little bit of jagged stuff, these are fine. These are Bridgestone Dueler ATs. They are super quiet on the highway and they work really, really well here and in the rain. The downside is this bit in the middle is a 20-inch wheel that it just means this part of the rubber is less than you would get on an 18-inch wheel. If it were up to me, if you could option this with an 18, I would just do that and keep the same style tires. It matches the Denali lifestyle perfect, I think. Out back. Now, something we are missing on this truck in terms of options and features is a tow package. You'll know that because there's no harness plug there. There's no receiver pin here.
Well, it's less to drag.
Less to drag, but you do have the tow chain eyelets here, which, so if you need to pull someone else out or get recovered, you do still have that. It's just funny that it's the exact same tow eyelets that you have in the tow package. I think that's adorable. Let's hop up front and check out the engine real fast. All right, Craig, it's time for the important part that makes this thing move. Find the latch, there it is. It's real hot, and there is not struts, but there is a prop rod. We'll use that. Look, I know it doesn't look special, but this is 2.7 liters of displacement with a massive single turbo. The good news, Craig, 310 horsepower. Sounds appropriate, right? Pretty close to the old V6.
That's good for a midsize.
It's real good for a midsize. Even better is the torque. 430 foot-pounds of torque. That's the same number you have on the ZR2. It has the beans to get up this hill for sure. One more thing we like as well, this one has sound deadening that the Colorado did not have, and it is way, way, way quieter. So, bad news is you kind of have to get outside the truck to hear the turbo, which I'm sure you'll hear in just a minute. Let's check out the goodies inside.
All right, as Brian's getting in there, we're going to check out all the off-road goodies and nannies and helpers and things we have and what kind of modes. So Brian, talk us through some of those. We got a bunch of good ones. Start with Denali coordinates. In case we wanted to get to Mount Denali, we could just punch those in right there.
Yeah, you don't need Google Maps. You just memorize the longitude, latitude in your head and go there. It has, so I'm going to get the seatbelt on so it won't ding at us. But let's talk about modes real quick. Down here is your controller for all of that. You can spin this thing left and right, and up here you can go from normal, off-road, which probably we'll use eventually, tow haul, and terrain. What terrain does is it gives you like a one-pedal drive type function, which we don't really need for the hill, but it is there. In our history of using these, it's not really necessary, but it's something you have. Down here, your modes on the outside, your all-wheel drive 4x4 modes are here. And I want to point that out. I said all-wheel drive. There is auto, and it points down here in the corner. That is a clutch-based system for the front drive shaft, which is a big deal. It means when you're in inclement weather and when you're on slippery road surfaces, you don't get the buckling that you get in 4-high. But unlike a Land Cruiser, you do have auto and 4-high. You also have 2-high. That's
part-time and full-time.
Part-time and full-time. So if you want to do silly burnouts, you can do that. Or you just don't want to have a parasitic drag of the front axle working, you can just put it in two-wheel drive. You also have 4-low, which is an option. Not all Canyons give you that. So
yeah, no, I'm with you. Having auto and two-wheel drive is a big deal. That's you don't get that in a lot of cars. Brian, what motor are we going to start with? We always start from the least to the greatest. Yes. So what's our plan of action?
I'm going to do 2-high and just see what she does. We've actually had a debate about this off camera. A lot of other outlets will leave it as it is, and then they'll take traction off if they want to try and get more wheel speed. I like, because of our hill, I'm testing what does it give you at the least to the highest. I say we start with traction off.
So okay, two-wheel drive, no traction control, and then we'll add traction control, then we'll add 4-auto and that sort of deal.
And so
we'll stay in normal mode, see where we're at.
Right.
Use the other modes if we need to.
Predictions, I don't think we'll need off-road mode. Not for something like this, and that's mostly throttle mapping. Unless we have a brake torque 2-foot problem, we might have to go to that. So,
and the biggest thing, like we said, I'm going to meet you up there.
Yep.
Biggest problem we're going to have is the breakover. Those side steps are just some massive drop. I think we've got the approach. We can get to that obstacle on the main line, which is right here. That's a big step up. I think we can get up over that, but then when we try to go past it, that's where those rails are going to be a problem and an issue. But before we get there, let's see how far we get in two-wheel drive with no traction control. Because usually about right here we start slipping. And there we go. We're starting to slip a little bit, but we're moving.
Okay, the rear diff has locked on its own.
Okay, rear diff just locked. That's the beauty of the mechanical locker. And you can see both wheels are actually spinning.
Hear that turbo.
Okay, so the locker does work, but we're just losing grip.
Okay, so I could bump it, or I could just go to 4-auto and crawl from here. What do you want to do?
We're going to do two-wheel drive traction control now.
Oh, traction control, you're right. Okay.
So traction control does.
All right, so let's try traction control on.
And back up a little bit and then...
Okay, do a reset.
And that's where we got. Kind of stalled out there. The traction control on. Oh, we got traction control just a little further. Actually pretty good.
It's stepping in a lot, traction control.
And now we're going to run into where we actually get some approach that's actually going to hurt these front wheels, and the back wheels are trying to push against it. We may have to change to another drive mode here.
Okay, so I'm going, it's hard to tell on camera, I'm going forward and back.
Yeah.
So I think that if we were to use this vehicle off-road, we just wouldn't do that.
No.
So, but we have proven that with traction control and the locker fighting each other actually is what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to, you can get to it.
Yeah.
That's not meaningful. So I think at this point, we go to the next step.
Agreed. Which is 4-auto.
4-auto.
Okay. So yeah, we're going to get the 4-auto because what's happening there is the back wheels are just fighting the front wheels as we run into more of the angle. And so 4-auto should help with that. Again, 4-auto keeps the center diff from locking, which means it'll split the power and it's not 50-50. But the front wheels are helping now. So a lot less slippage. I'm gonna get up here to make sure we don't scratch anything. We're good on the approach like predicted. These front wheels are trying to grab. It's not locking it, but okay, got us up and over. Okay, stop there. So you can see we got plenty of approach and the front wheels helped a lot. We didn't have to lock that center diff. Brian, we're looking good right now.
I'm nervous. So
I do wonder, yeah.
Selfishly, and this is not about the truck's ability, I want to put it in 4-low so I have more control.
Agreed.
While we're crawling, because what happens in 4-high, it wants to lurch more.
Right.
Especially in auto because it's moving the power around.
Agreed.
So I'm going to go to 4-low just for control purposes.
I agree.
If the side steps are not there, I can already tell you this will make it up.
Yes.
I'm not with momentum at least, it will make it up. So let me go to 4-low. It's still flashing. All right, we're in 4-low.
All right, hang on. So yeah, so Brian's right. What we know we can get up there for auto prove that that's not a problem. The problem is this right here. We don't want to tear this up and rip those off, so we need 4-low to be able to slowly creep as much as we can. So if we need to call it off, we can call it off.
I'm gonna 2-foot it.
Okay.
How we looking?
Looking okay. You're about halfway over.
Okay.
You're gonna make it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Brian, so what we've proved is that we don't know what we're talking about, and GM does. And,
Well, it proves that GM has used our hill before.
and those side steps just really aren't as much of an issue as we thought.
No, you know, they look real low and out there, but
do.
how close was it?
You had to probably get another inch, inch and a half. Yeah.
Okay, so for campsite purposes, you're covered.
You're covered. Look, AT4 is cool. This has got a little more creature comforts, I'm
This
just
is
saying.
nice. This
Yeah.
is, well, and look, you don't like the bazillion different color textures in here, but it breaks up the just boring black. It's nice.
And you really could rip off those side steps and have even way more clearance
Totally.
and solve that problem.
Man, I'm impressed.
I'm impressed too. With that, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and like. Leave us some comments. All that feedback and interaction, that's how we keep doing these.
Yep.
YouTube likes it. That's how the algorithm works. Y'all don't care about any of that though. Just do that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
See you later.